Alright, HadesOmega here. It's April 27th, almost like a week. So I had decided not to do the Yosemite Dual Sport event after all. I just wanted to save money. It was like it wound up being almost like $150 for the 2 days and the barbecue, and then I had to figure out where I'm going to put all my stuff, and so because I have to like unload the bike when I go ride. I mean, I could ride with all my junk, but what fun is that, right? Anyway, yeah, well, I just wanted to do like kind of like a races to places type thing where I go somewhere and I do an event and then ride along my way. But I chose to save that money. The money's really tight for me right now because I just bought this Impulse here, the one under the cover. So and then I'm trying to do this Japan trip after, like a couple months after this TAT trip. So anyway, so what I got going on today is I'm gonna put that trail wing, the death wing, onto the wheel. Man, I got a bend here. Man, I'm just bending wheels left and right, man. So I have to remind myself when I'm riding on the trails to like take it easy. Don't have to fucking smash through at like fucking rally speeds or whatever, you know. I don't want to fucking bend the wheel. I might have been there already. I'm not sure, but so yeah, this one. I mean, this wheel is pretty bent up. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna swap these tires out. Hopefully I can get it done by the end of the day. You know me, man. It takes like 2 hours to change a tire for me or something. Dread have to do it on a trail, but I mean, I think I could. I've kind of did. I did it in Baja almost. So I got this other wheel. Yeah, I have this other wheel that I bought a while ago, and I'm gonna swap it out with this wheel, and then I'm gonna see if I get the speed wobbles. I could test the tires out. I'll test the rear tire out too. I'll probably take it out when I swap the tires, see if it has the wobble at 70 miles an hour, and then I will, and then I'll swap this one in, and see if it's the wobble. If it gets the wobbles, I think it may get wobbles because these tires are pretty bad. But I just want to make sure that because if the rim is bent, man, it's really bad. If the rim is bent, will it cause it to do that, to make the front wobble? I did buy a new front wheel. I managed to find one, so I may just swap that one out. Another thing I could do, I think, is to tighten the steering head bearings. I think might help. It may be that the steering head bearings are too loose or something, so I may want to tighten that. I've never actually serviced them. I probably should, but like I got a lot of junk on the front of my bike, so well, yeah. So I'm not gonna bore you with the details. I'm not gonna bore you with video of me swapping tires or whatever. I have a couple videos, and I'm average at it. I'll tell you that. I've done it enough times where like I can get by, but I am by no means an expert at changing motorcycle tires. But I have all the right tools, so yeah. So I got my Tusk tire stand dealy all set up. Got my compressor on here and some tire irons. Let's get it done. Right, wow, holy crap. So I kid you not, it's only been like half an hour and I've already got the tire on there. I've already taken the other tire off, and I've got the death wing on there, and it was pretty easy to get in there. So the secret was, if you saw in the last clip, is I put it in the sun. It was pretty sunny today, so I left it in the sun for like half an hour or something, and it was easy to get on. Well, that, or maybe it's because of the trail wings easy to put on. But there it is. I was able to just slip it right on. I didn't use any tools except for Windex, and then I baby powdered it up. So I didn't get it on video, but man, that's the first time I've had it come on that easy. But now it's the hard part, is getting the tube and all that crap in there. But I'm quite impressed with myself today. All right, I got the fishing tool on there. This was a brand new tube when I put it in, and now it doesn't look so brand new anymore, man. This one ride in Baja made it look kind of yucky, but I'm going to use standard tubes. I think it'll be fine. So the important thing is on my TAT journey is to take it easy, you know. we got a lot of miles to cover, and I don't want to be changing flat tires all the time, you know, or bending wheels. So I gotta learn to take it easy. The way I ride in Baja now is like it's crazy, man. It's almost like I'm riding a rally race or some shit, you know. But well, at least when I'm alone, you know. So I got the fishing tool on there. I think it maybe the 120 is easier. I've been using I always use 130s. I kind of like the wider tires, especially if you're going to be carrying a lot of junk. But man, look at this. This is like a Plasti Dip or something. It's like I spray painted this wheel or something. Anyway, so yeah, so it's going pretty well. But yeah, I think this is because this is a 120 profile, 120 width. Makes it a little easier maybe, and probably because I put it in the sun. But I better do it. I better hurry up before it cools down. I talked about this little piece of kit here. This is my old Harbor Freight bead breaker for motorcycle tires. I've had it for like a decade now. It's still kicking ass. I try to use the bead buddies whenever I can, so because I like to practice using my trail tools. But I just busted it out today. Also, I got the tube in there now, so it went in there pretty easy. It took me a few minutes. So a neat trick that somebody taught me in Baja is to put the tube in this way, because your hands naturally go that way instead of trying to go like this, you know. But so you kind of like pick up the tire and then you just kind of flop it into the rim, and it actually worked pretty good. Not too bad. The tube seems a little tight on this rim, but all right. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put a little bit of air in there to help get the tube seated in there properly, and then I'm just going to let the air out. Alright. Okay, I put the valve core back in, and I put a little bit of air to help it keep it from getting pinched. So this is probably the part that makes me nervous the most is the pinching of the tube. But I got some fairly good tire irons here. What I like about these is that the spoons aren't very sharp, so it won't cut the tube as much, you know, and it kind of rolls off of the thingy. This one is a little sharper. It's okay. It has that rounded profile. Yeah, they're really sharp. Alright, here it goes. So yeah, like I said, I put some air in there to let it kind of so it won't fold over or anything, and then I let some air out, and I let the air out, and then I put the core back in, and then I put air in it, and then I've lubed up the bead with Windex. So hopefully it's still warm. It feels pretty warm. So I was able to get my bead buddy in. So the secret to not pinching the tires is to not just stick the spoon all the way in there and then crank it in there. Just barely hook it over the lip, you know, and then kind of look at it. You can kind of see the tube in there, kind of wiggle a little bit so it doesn't catch on that, you know. So that's my secret to pinching tubes. I very rarely pinch tubes. It has happened, you know, and it's a bummer. And it usually happens when you inflate the tire. You inflate it, and then you hear psh, and then you're just like, fuck, I think I just pinched the tube, and then you feel really bad because you ruined the tube. Also, what I've learned is to make sure that as you get the tire on there, make sure the bead doesn't slip back on. So like just and someone taught me in Baja also that I mean I probably know this, but it helps if you where you're putting the, like, let's say I'm gonna put the I'm trying to spoon this part on, is to push the opposite side. So I would push this in, and this one has a little bead, kind of like a bead pushing tip tool. I think these are Motion Pro tire irons. I'm not sure, but there's a lot. This is a very common tire iron. It's really big too. But this part here, this bent part, you can hook it under the bead part here on the rim and push down on it, and this helps you break the bead, you know. Alright, I got in there without too much fuss. It was trying to pop back in, so I just made sure that bead was in there and tried to pop back up here, and I pushed it back down. And then on the last push, all I had to do was kind of tweak the lever down, and it just slipped right on there. So yeah, not bad. Pretty good. Pretty good. Alright, so now I'm going to go lube up the bead on this side so it'll seat better. And then inflate it and seat that bead. All right, there it is. I just I inflated it to 50. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the valve core out and inflate it 4 more times to help the tube get seated in there properly. You know, just in case it's in there a little crooked or folded in some places. But the bead set like easily on this. Probably because this tire was made for this rim. This is the stock tire, so trail wing. I hope the tire is still good. It looks okay. It's not cracking or anything. Alright, it's in there. So all that's left is to tighten these nuts here. This is the rim lock nut. Just want to get it sort of tight, not uber tight, but I want it to hold your... I don't even need this. I'm not gonna... This is gonna be all slab. Yeah, sometimes I hate putting a rim lock in. So I'm gonna have to install that one on the trail or wherever it is I'm starting the trail, or when this one wears out. So the plan is to probably run this until it gets until the knobs are gone. You know, it's got a lot of meat on it, plenty of meat. So this will hopefully this will last me to the other side of the country. So all that's left to do is take the weights off. Well, I'll not take the weights off, but I'll balance it since this is going to do a lot of street riding, so a lot of highway. So I want to balance it, and then keep it from like wobbling. And then yeah, I guess we're not going to be able to balance that unless I have a motorcycle shop do it. I could possibly do that. Yeah, if I find a motorcycle shop when I need to change it, then it'll be all good. So let's see here. Oh, a dinky looking wheel. It's kind of small. That's a 120. So yeah. So these the nuts on the valve stem, I don't like. You're not supposed to tighten them all the way. You have to be able to see if your valve stem is moving or not. Like if the tire slips on the rim. So it's a good practice to not. Some people, they just leave them out like a little bit like that, but I just tighten it hand tight, you know. And then you know, it's good to leave it a little bit loose maybe, but and that way you'll see if you see the valve stem like not straight like that, you know that like, hey, you're gonna rip your valve stem out. And then I just tighten this and then balance the wheel. All right. So here I have my my Harbor Freight tire balancing apparatus here, and these are my tire balancing toolkit here. So yeah, that's how I roll. Before I was just keeping everything in the little the little weight boxes. Like they come in boxes kind of like this here. But then yeah, it started becoming it was too cluttered, and we just keep it here in this little tool tray here. But now I just put everything in a little tackle box type thing. And it's always good to keep keep old weights around so you can use them to balance your wheels. I mean, I guess you could do it with the fresh ones too, but what I do is I'll stick it on there, and then wherever it's heavy, I'll put it on the opposite side, and then I'll strap some old weights onto there, and then we'll just play the adding game later. So this wheel should have weights already on it inside the rim. The strange thing is it still needs weight, so I don't know. We'll see. Depends how out of balance it is. So I got 4 ounces. That's quite a bit. It's whatever. It's okay. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's perfectly balancing, but I don't care as long as it's close. All right. So what I like to do when I put the tape on, when I put the weights on, I heat them up with a heat gun here, and then I stick them on there, and then I put some. I heat this up with with the heat gun again, and I put some Gorilla Tape over the top of it. Helps the weight stay on there. All right, rim's ready to put back on. And the wheel's ready to put back on. There's the weights. Let's spin it. Let's make sure it's not wobbly and crap. It's pretty good. The wheel's fairly straight. It's pretty beat up, but what can you expect? old dirt bike. But yeah. All right, just gotta put it back on now. Other handy things to have in your like little toolbox is actually this comes in pretty handy. This helps you scrape the old weights off. A heat gun definitely helps a lot because you can warm up adhesives and stuff, and it makes them you know, come off easier or stick better. Yeah, like the old weights, a bottle of alcohol to help clean the rim, so it sticks on a clean surface. And I have these. If you need to put more weights, I use these on the front wheels. I use it's like silver solder, or it's like a solid, just says solid wire on it, whatever. But yeah, you can get a scale and weigh these and just wrap them around the spokes. That's a trick I use for the front wheel because there's not a lot of space to put weights on the front wheel, but there's plenty on the back wheel. So there it is. It looks like it's too heavy on that spot now. It stopped at the bottom, but before it was definitely, I knew it was definitely heavy on that spot because it would just always go up. So I'm in the ballpark. All right, okay, bike's back together. Oh man, I was super hungry. I had to eat something. Anyway, so I gotta go clean up all these toys here. I may buy another kit of these. These are really handy, especially when you want to pry something off something and not scratch it. It's really handy. These are I think these are like automotive body, like the interior panels kit, and these are the really cheap ones. I may get another set of these because this will easily fit in here. Not really. I could make it fit. But anyway, so all done. I just have to take it for a spin. I may do it today. I don't know. Maybe I just take today off and ride. Also, here's some kind of weird thing that I've been doing for a while now. Every time I use a piece of equipment, I mark down how many times I've used it to do whatever. So you can see I probably balanced 14. I balanced 14 wheels with this thing. So I think I paid $30. So I don't know. I figure someone would probably charge you $5 to balance your wheel. Probably, maybe more, maybe less. I don't know. But let's say $5. So 5 times 14 is like what? $60, $70. So I've saved myself $70 by using this bad boy. So that's how I justify buying these, you know, these special tools and stuff. If you're gonna use it, if you used it enough times where like where it pays itself off, it's worth it. So this has paid itself off double is what it has paid itself off. And then so this guy I got for $75, I think, from Rocky Mountain ATV. It's a Tusk off-road tire changing stand, and I've used this to change 6 tires so far. So you figure, I don't know, I think the going rate to do a tire change is like $15-20. Let's say it was $20 with the balancing, you know. So 6 times 20, 6 times 100, $120. I saved myself $120 by buying a tire changing stand, and so this tire changing stand has more than paid for itself off, especially even the balancer. So that's how I justify buying, you know, tools like this. One, it makes life easier. 2, you know, it's using the right tool for the right job, and yeah, so that's the way I justify it. Now, if it was something that you were going to use like once or twice, then it might be better to rent it or pay someone to do whatever, you know. But you know, I have a lot of I like being able to do things myself. You know, it gives me a good feeling that, you know, I'm doing the work myself, and I know I'm doing it right because I'm doing it, or if I did it wrong, I have nobody to blame but myself, you know. So that's just that's the way I see working on the bike. So as much as possible, I don't pay people to do things. And I mean, it's another thing if you don't have space, you know. I'm fortunate enough to have like a driveway to work in, a little garage, so some people aren't. So, but there are places you can go to that, you know, they have that kind of stuff. But yeah, so I like doing all my own stuff. So also, yeah, I had bought this. Like I said, I went to Cycle Gear. I got a new 17-inch tube. And you know, I've been trying to find ways so I can strap it to the bike. I tried to stick it under here. It looks like it'll almost fit, but it won't fit in the bag. I want to keep it in the bag so it doesn't get dirty or anything. So this is my solution. I was thought about sticking it under here and taking this off, or you know, but this is supposed to be for my for the slime. So what I did is I strapped it to my Rotopacks. I strapped it here on the handle and right here on the side rack. Very cool. And I think that works. That's pretty good. It may get wet though. That's the problem. I have to dry it if it gets wet. But yeah, because I can't fit it in here. It's just not big enough to fit it. I have a 21-inch tube in here too. Hopefully it's still in good shape. Hopefully. I used to keep it in my duffel bag, but I'm trying not to keep as much stuff in my duffel bag as possible. And the rubber smell, it gets all over your stuff, and it, you know, it makes your stuff smell like rubber. Yeah, so, and then I used to keep it in here, and it just takes up a lot of space. You know, these 17-inch tubes take a lot of space. I hate them. 21-inch tube, not so bad, but I carry a 21 and a 17. Yeah, so that is my solution right there, I think. Now I probably could put it here too. Maybe I can tie it here and here. I'll kind of experiment. There's a lot of space on the side of the bike, so, and that's a good place to put it too. That's sort of like, that's where the rider triangle is. So yep. Ugh, I should throw this greasy thing away. Here's my go.